I think all colors derive from nature. The striking colors that you can get in nature, I mean, that's the palette. So I wanted to design gardens and create these spaces using those different colors, textures. Snøhetta had this vision of this really lush, natural-looking wall. From there, we had a lot of room to play with what we wanted to grow, and doing something that takes you, almost windswept and takes you in different directions. We went to Mount Tam, we went to East Bay mud, see how the ferns and the understory species are growing in their native habitat. There's inspiration everywhere, right? And what I really liked was how species kind of fade in and fade out of different areas naturally. It really showcase a lot of different California native species. We had to include Yerba Buena because this is the Yerba Buena area. There's a holly fern that's almost prehistoric looking. We spent about 4 nights projecting and going across with a scissor lift and then tracing that with chalk. And then when the plants arrive, we have numbers that correlate to those planting areas. So it's kind of like plant by numbers. The irrigation system starts in the basement in a large mixing tank. That mixing tank is filled with condensate water and storm water. And then we have moisture sensors in each one of those zones, so it can tell us, if it is too wet or too dry. The system is recirculating, and any runoff water coming off the wall is captured in that mixing tank and sent back to the wall. So we can basically use every drop of water. Most museums are indoors. Sometimes you see so much art and you're just like, okay, I need a break. I don't know what I've seen. And so as you walk across the wall, there's this movement, and it's this calming feeling, the movement when the wind kind of comes through that corridor. There's a lot of effects that plants have on our mental well-being. This feeling that you get might remind you of childhood or just walking in the forest. Unlike a landscape where you kind of walk through and gather all these different feelings and scents, in this case, you're really looking up. You're looking at the plants from a different perspective.